where he's got it all hidden.
Yeah.
Oh, there it comes. Gee whiz, it just poured out of there. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's see. And he's jammed up there.
Yeah, it's about as tender as you can get right there. Wow. Oh my God.
I'm trying to get a lacrosse ball in there, man. What the heck is all that?
I mean, yeah.
I got you. If I get this a little bit. I'm waiting. Yeah. Right there is where the problem is, actually. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay.
Doing it though.
Looks good, yeah. That's what you want to work on.
How do you get up?
Okay, Mark, tell me about yourself. I know you said have a couple football injuries, 6 years ago?
Yeah, that was about senior year of high school. It's kind of when everything started and the snowball, kind of took off rolling. It started out just with the neck, so it was pretty much I kind of bent my neck like underneath my chest.
Okay.
Had some just some soreness the next day. Didn't think anything too much of it.
Just neck pain?
Yeah, neck, basically the back of the neck.
Okay.
Kind of just the back of the neck, a little bit into the traps.
Okay.
Kind of just sort of that. Nothing, no crazy pain or anything at the time. Next day I woke up, I go, man, that's pretty sore, like stiff. Got some just typical treatment for it, like ice and heat,
Yep.
a little bit of that.
Yep.
Was like, all right, sure, like this will go away, like no problem. Like didn't even think. I mean, months go by, years go by, it starts getting like work. I'm just like, what is going on? So ever since then, I don't know like what the injury specifically was,
Gotcha.
to be honest with you. But yeah, that kind of set it off, and then it's slowly progressed and kind of degenerated, and then it's kind of been at this probably, I don't know, standstill like this for 3-4 years.
If you had to rate it on a scale 1 to 10, what number would you put it at, if you think?
It's crazy because it kind of fluctuates, really. Like, sometimes it can be like in, 8, 9, I'm just like, holy.
Worse in the morning, typically? Worse in the evening?
Typically, in the evening as the day goes by. I mean, in the morning, it's all I'm just like
Stiff.
tight, stiff, stiff as heck in the morning, and then as the day goes on, as I progress of sitting, standing, that's that's where the pain starts to really onset. I have low back too.
Okay.
Low back. I'm not really sure kind of where
That
the low back was really, kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest with you. I was always just thought it was connected to whatever was going on, because this kind of will seep like all the way through, like along both sides of my spine.
Do you do a lot of driving around? Are you at a desk a lot? Give me an idea of your posture throughout your work.
So I was at a desk, for 2 years, and then I came down here. I do medical device sales now, so I'm in a car
Gotcha.
a lot, which, to be honest with you, has helped a lot with the neck stuff.
Okay.
When I was at a desk, like just a traditional 9 to 5,
Gotcha.
it was like terrible. I was all throughout the day, like people are looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like trying to stretch my neck like at the desk, like so that was the worst, sitting for 8 hours. Like made it, that made it terrible.
Okay. The pain is from the joints. So the knuckles, there's two structures that you have feeling in our spine. We have where the joints connect with each other, where the bones actually glide with each other. They're like little handshakes.
Right.
And as you move your neck forward or back, those two surfaces slide over each other. Now, the lower neck joints are only supposed to work after your upper neck joints are fully worked out, meaning that these guys don't even move until these guys have done all their work, and then the lower neck is then involved. And so the question I would have is sort of an inverted question: why don't you have a lot of discomfort at the top? And I saw on their headaches, which actually does connect with your upper neck. Inflammation of the suboccipital area will give you headaches. How often do you have headaches?
Not a ton.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not my main complaint at all.
Okay, well the upper neck not working is the problem, because the lower neck spraining or overstressing is only happening because your main engine at the upper neck must not be functioning properly. I know the world loves the word degeneration. I think it's not the best word, because when you overwork a joint, it actually grows, and they call that a degeneration of the joint, which in my opinion is more of a regeneration, like a muscle getting bigger. When you overstress a joint, the joint will grow just like a muscle or like a callus on your skin. So now when the joint grows, it starts to hit these wires, these yellow cables next to the joints, and that's when then you'll start, probably in your late 30s, am I feeling weakness or numbness or tingling, or it shoots down the arm?
Yeah, I get some right there.
You do feel that sometimes?
Yeah.
So that's where the actual, that's the nerve next to the joint called the intervertebral foramen that the nerve travels through. So you're getting some involvement of the wires in the lower neck. In the lower back, in the exact same way, the knuckles in your spine are inflamed. Sitting takes the curve out of your back. This is why we have lumbar support. We're supposed to be supporting this arch that's in our spine. That allows the weight to be evenly spread over all the segments. When we sit for prolonged periods of time or all the school years, we lose that curve. And now we go do activities with the wrong alignment, and wherein all the stress goes to the loosest areas, which end up being L4 and L5. So your care is pretty simple. We're gonna work on the areas that are not injured, the areas, specifically the upper neck, the middle back, try to move some stress off these areas, and then at the end of the visit, we're gonna show you how to work on restoring that curve to your back. The uneven wearing of the spine, our medical and chiropractic world is acting like it's a disease. I go, if a tire's not on a car straight, the tire wears out unevenly, right? But it's not a diseased tire. And when the rubber wears out at a faster rate, you wouldn't say the tire, something, Michelin didn't make this tire properly. Sorry, Michelin. But it's the alignment, right? You're fine. Look straight forward, keep looking straight forward. The interesting part is that your head loves to tilt, you're actually rotated left here. Your head is actually rotated. Can you see that, Carl? How much larger his right side is showing here? There's an injury on the right side of your neck that's made your head. It's like, nah, I'm just gonna go over here.
Yeah, really.
Like, we call this antalgia in the simplest term. Anta means away from, algia means pain. So when I'm looking at your posture, I can see where your injuries are because I'm looking at what are you leaning away from, right? If I injure my right leg, I'm gonna tilt to my left side, right? And if I stand here like this, what happened over here that's making you shift? Now you'll have then, if you stay in a crooked alignment, you'll have then the compensatory injury. Now the left side's injured because I'm avoiding my right, right?
Sure, yeah.
So I have the injury, I'm just making it simple. I have a football injury at 19 where I break my right ankle, and now I'm gonna shift my weight to my left ankle to get away from my injured right ankle. Now my left ankle's killing me because my right ankle's not doing any work.
I mean, I will tell you, like, I feel everything kind of feels like pretzels. A lot of my just alignment, like, I can literally feel like my alignment's like things are tight and just like twitched in a certain way. It just doesn't feel right.
Let me cross this arm under and over. All right, take a deep breath in, little sit up. Take a deep breath in, sit up. Let all the air out. Wow, nice. Deep breath in. Let all the air out. Wow, nice. Deep breath in more. Let it all go. Very nice, okay. Okay, I think we're done here.
Yeah. Those were new ones, I'll tell you what. I haven't felt one of those. Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm going to teach you how to do a large percentage of that. Now that I've got it moving, I can teach you to do that at home to some degree. You understand? Be able to do rollers or dead rolls, and you can keep your middle back mobility.
Yeah.
Your middle back has to be supple.
Sure.
You understand? If it's all jammed up in here, then you're going to sprain this easily.
Yeah, sure.
Have you scoot down for me, and then on your side. Deep breath in, exhale. Beautiful. This side for me. Sometimes if you've been to another chiropractor, they'll bring your knee up real high, and if you're wondering why, I keep on trying to. Your lumbar curve is very important, right? I'm not going to adjust you, but I'm going to show you what would be a bad adjustment. When people bring this knee up real high, see how this lower back flattens out?
Yeah.
I've just done telling you how important the curve is in your back. So why would it be a good idea to adjust you without aiming your spine into the right direction, right? Which is for it to be curved.
Yeah.
So the difference is that I actually ask you to arch your spine. See how there's more of an arch now in your back?
Yep.
Let this be arched instead of this knee coming up real high. Just a small thing you might catch. Somebody works for me one day. Dr. Ed in Sarasota said there's supposed to be a curve in my back. Why do you have my knee up so high? You said something to think about.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense.
Deep breath in. I got you. Exhale. There we go. All right, deep breath. Exhale. Good. Let's go face up for me. Beautiful. And I got a huge knot on this right side. That's why your head's rotated left. He's got a big knot.
Yeah.
This guy right here.
Oh yeah, I can feel that. So tender.
And the joint's loaded with pain fibers. So your body's going to go, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
When we rotate our head left, or if we tilt our head, those are both biomechanically the same. The joints on the side we rotate or tilt to are compressed. So if we injure a joint on the right, your body's going to offload, right? Get the idea? To move the stress to the opposite side.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I feel like I have no unison in how my body, used to work, right? Like a well-oiled machine unit, and now, like you said, there's parts and bits that are like not a part of the
unit anymore.
Injuries are the most common way we lose members. When we have an injury, it's very easy for the areas that get injured to basically quit working.
Yeah.
And then what we have, what I would call your lower neck, is more the compensatory injury. Now the lower neck is doing all the work because your upper neck has locked down and left the building. Oh boy, yeah, we have work to do. I got you. Let's see if we got a little more. Wow, it hasn't moved in a while. Let it go. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can really feel that.
Yeah, we got work to do. Yeah. Gotcha. Relax this side here. Everybody walks out. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's see. Andy's jammed up there.
Yeah. I will say too, my traps feel they're in a natural state of tense.
Guard mode. Guarding.
Yeah,
It's just-
they feel very like their fence is up.
Yeah, the muscles will try to guard joints and ligaments that are injured. So the most important structures in our spine are the discs, the nerves, the joints, and muscles will splint, tighten to protect areas of injury. That's kind of a backup thing that they do. Somebody looked at that and went a little too far with it and said, okay, it's the job of muscles to hold everything together. It's like, wait. Hold on. Muscles in dire circumstances can get tight to protect things. That's not their job.
Yeah, right.
That is a backup function that they can provide in extenuating circumstances, but somebody went and took it, like I said, the 2 steps farther. And I don't know. Yeah, it's just level injuries on top of injuries over here, bud.
Yeah, I mean, like my best guess is that there's got to be so knotted up and just.
What position do you play?
I played quarterback.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're supposed to be like the.
I know, not
Meaning
taking
the target, but-
Yeah. I know there's a big target on your back, but it was just one of those unfortunate, weird. Like it wasn't a aggressive, bone breaking injury or anything. It was just an awkward landing. Like it felt like everything was overstretched and over,
Gotcha.
extenuated, and it just felt like it never came back to normal for whatever reason. But it's weird, like I said, it was never like a painful, it was always a dull aching, nothing like where I'm like, felt like I was like screaming in pain, nothing like that. But
It's terrible.
just,
It's still not fun.
but yeah, just, the lower quality of life
Definitely.
is just, yeah.
Joints are
Hard to
loaded,
deal with.
Well, they're loaded with pain fibers. So a joint, can start mild and then scale pretty high. But it'd be the same pain. It just ramps up. There's just a lot of sensors in the joints: temperature, pressure, vibration.
Yeah.
So we call them proprioceptors. So we can know where our joints are in space. There's a lot of sensors in there. So areas of old injuries, you'll sometimes see them when we do the Gua Sha. It kind of untangles and brings to light the old traumas that have been stored in our body. And right here, there's a little mark coming out right there. Did you just do high school? Did you try to go to any more football afterwards, or did you?
I did. I played a year at Stetson University
Uh-huh.
over in Daytona Beach. I was there for a year.
Okay.
I've had about 4 concussions, and then the neck injuries was always bothering me, and I was just kind of like, I think I'm gonna hang the cleats up.
I got you.
I heard you always say that 26, right? It's skeletal.
Full skeletal maturity.
Yeah, so I was like, man, I gotta get down here before 26.
Yeah, it's like the growth plates all hardened, everything.
Yep.
The cement hardens.
Right.
You really want to. It's actually really. It's a lot easier to change posture for the better or for the worse when we're young. So we can make our alignments worse quickly. 3 months, all of a sudden my head's crooked and I'm, and then you can make it better quickly. And then after 26, things get better slowly and they get worse slowly.
Yeah. Just kind of more.
Everything's hardened. Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just to give you a preview, this is where your neck belongs curved. And the more curve is in your neck, essentially throughout the neck, the more evenly balanced the weight of your head is over all the segments. And not any one vertebrae is going to be overtaxed.
Yeah, that's about as tender as you can get right there. Wow.
I got you. See if I can get this a little bit. Palm weight. Wow. Wow.
Ooh, there she is.
Yeah, that
wow.
that shouldn't require
No.
10 minutes of massage to get that joint to move. Most people live their lives with about, I would say, about 20% of their back working. You can make it to 50 with 20% of your back functioning and 80% of your back mechanically offline. Meaning, if we did motion X-rays, you wouldn't see any motion segmentally. Follow me? Right? Segmentally, all the vertebral motion is happening. Cervical 5, 6, and 7, lumbar 4 and 5, lower back, and that's what we get MRIs for, to see how those discs are aging, right? And that's also where all the disc injuries occur: cervical 5, 6, and 7, lower neck, lumbar 4 and 5, and lower back. And it's not coincidence that the areas that move the most are also the areas that wear out the fastest, right?
Sure.
They're wearing out the fastest because they're being like teeth. They're the ones being grinded on all the time. And everybody's trying to, almost every doctor wants to do something to those injured areas. Let's inject it, let's do a nerve ablation, let's do a cortisone shot, let's do surgery, let's do a laminectomy, right? They want to do something to the injured area. And they don't zoom out 3 feet and go, why are all these other areas not injured?
Yeah.
Right? And if you can answer that question, you'll start to understand why the areas are injured. They're injured because the alignment's wrong.
Yeah.
Because this part of the back doesn't move. And all the stresses are being harnessed. And so giving a painkiller to that area isn't stopping the exorbitant amount of stress that's on that area to begin with, right? That's causing the pain. The pain is a call to action. Your body's trying to say, hey, this area needs a vacation. It's being overtaxed. You got ripples everywhere. You have 1, 2.
Yeah.
It's almost his entire left side.
I haven't even noticed that until probably, 6-8 months ago. I laid down one day and I was like, you can visually see.
Yeah. And exactly to your point what you were saying earlier, I feel like my lower back happened after my neck, and the answer is correct because your head went forward, and that amplifies the torque that the lower back is under. So when we have neck injuries, the head goes forward as a compensation, and now you actually increase the torque that the lower back is under,
Right.
because the head's forward. So it then brings them to light.
If it's ever too hard, let them know. Just, you need a break.
When you walk on by, will you call my name?
No, we're here to grind this one out.
That's right. Don't you forget about me. Right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like with the shoulders and triceps.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I don't know if it's tendons I'm feeling or the muscles or like rubbing over my shoulder blade and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a very strange feeling.
Part of it is that when your shoulders go forward, all the muscles back here, the tendons are held tight, and then you move your scapula and it rubs over those tendons. So part of that is getting your shoulders back, and we'll show you at the end of the visit when we're stretching our back, we're going to try to stretch your shoulders back at the same time, and that'll alleviate some of that clicking or grinding you're feeling back here.
Right.
It's not just that your head's forward, the shoulders are rounded forward.
Yeah.
And so we have to get the head and shoulders back. We should charge extra for this long torso. Jeez.
Way more real estate back
Huge
there.
back here. It's like a lawn, you know. And, this lawn's gonna cost more to mow, man.
You need a John Deere.
There's a lot of square footage here. John Deere. Gotta get a bigger mower.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so tender right there. Oh my god. That's like way more.
These are the roots of your neck.
You really feel that.
Yeah, the roots of your neck are right here. Yeah, breathe, relax. Yeah, right here. This seems like abused over here. This is you're avoiding your left, and then this side just gets smashed.
Yeah.
Man, wow.
Yeah, that ripples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just need work in here, bud.
Right there.
Just
Yeah.
pull your poor back. Like
It's
sting.
just so tender, like you can.
Mm.
Yeah.
Trying to get a lacrosse ball in there, man. What the heck is all that?
I mean, yeah.
Gee, I feel bad. Yeah.
I'm like,
What do I do with this? Right.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I mean, I'm gonna feel it's like wants to fight you. You know what I mean? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
where he's got it all hidden.
Yeah.
Oh, there it comes. Gee whiz, it just poured out of there. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
That's
It was all
gonna be-
fun and games until I went into the glue.
It's gonna be an issue down there, I know it. Yeah, that is so messed up. She's so unbelievably tender and tight.
Mhm.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, our world didn't have Dr. Bo, my father, a chiropractor, is your father, and so I got adjusted all the time. Of course, football wasn't exactly in my future.
right, okay.
Dad, I want to play football. Sorry, kid. Wasn't an option for me.
No. But yeah, I will say, as far as like pain goes, when it really comes on with sitting, the low back pain is like almost double the neck pain, I would say. If I had to put it on the scale. Like, but that, like, you just put in any sort of like pressure or like just even with like a hand right there, it feels like that doesn't work or move.
Correct. Yeah.
This
Huge knot
area.
right here. Yep.
Yeah.
Huge knot right here.
God, that does not feel good.
I want to work on getting these vertebrae back to being curved.
Right.
You know, being on our bellies, letting it be okay. All right, lean back fast. Face down again.
Are you kind of able to see those like ripples in the back I was talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There's scar tissue, injuries on top of injuries back there. I'll show you a picture of your back in a second. That's about right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some ripples.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all rib injuries. There's that whole right side right there. That huge knot.
Yeah, wow.
Right there. So getting blood into these areas, when they get so tight, they choke themselves. So
Right.
it's the posture that creates the tension. So there's injuries and then posture together are creating blockages that then the nerves are traveling through, and nerves are sitting in that, not only lactic acid that's trapped so it can't get out, and then, so therefore the nerves continue, it just hurts all the time and then it gets worse.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what I was trying to show you with posture. When you're upright, the muscles are relaxed. When I lean forward, now the muscles get tight because of posture.
Yes,
Right?
right,
So when
right.
you come back upright, they're supposed to go back to being relaxed.
Right.
So now you have injuries that then made your body change the posture. Now you just have constant contraction, constant lactic acid buildup,
Yeah.
constant inflammation. So we have to go in there, kind of break the cycle. Go in there, release the inflammation, release the tension back here, so you actually can come back to a better posture, so therefore then the buildup won't be as much.
Sure,
So
yeah.
it's kind of twofold there a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that was way. What have you done to that toe? That was normal. You're saying that was more normal.
Yeah.
Level. I shouldn't have to be grabbing your toe like.
Yeah.
Should just work easily.
Right.
Wow. Come on. Gotta be 10 for 10. A little bit, look like it. Okay. All right. All right, good. All right. Go ahead and tilt your head to the left a little bit for me. Tilt left. Go ahead and tilt your head left.
Yeah, that is an interesting
Okay,
feeling.
sure. All right, go ahead and tilt right for me. Tilt your head right. Tilt right for me. Tilt right. Transient for me. There we go. Keep looking straight forward. Actually, look up a little bit. Sit up straight a little bit more for me. There we go. Look straight forward. Actually, push your elbow back into my elbow a little bit. Press back. There you go. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Press back with your elbow and my elbow. There you go. Yeah.
Wow.
Stretch, stretch, breathe, exhale. Come on. Yeah. And knees right, about 5-10 seconds each side. Yeah, move, and then knees to the right, stretch. There you go. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we-
Just so tight.
Yeah, you gotta work.
Oh
If it's
my-
killing you where it's pressing, that's the problem.
Yeah.
As your journey with this progresses, eventually this feels like nothing.
Yeah.
This device is asking your spine to be where it belongs, and if it wanted to be there, you wouldn't be here.
Sure.
You wouldn't have symptoms.
Yeah.
If this was easy,
Yep.
I'd be confused.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the difficulty you're describing is your journey,
Yeah.
and the goal is to get to 20 minutes, wherein that you'll see a longer lasting change. Meaning every time you do it, it gets easier.
Right.
And now, if it's just uncomfortable, you know, here,
Uh-huh.
if it's killing you right here, thumbs up. If you start feeling something down here, do you understand?
Go lower?
We got to go higher. No, we got to go higher with it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be upsetting your lower back.
Right.
So if you start feeling something in your lower back, we got to move it closer to your shoulder blades or move up higher. And relax your neck. This is the emulation of my thumb.
Mm-hmm.
This is the neck general. The idea of this one is you actually just close your eyes, go to sleep. Just let the weight of your head sink in. Sometimes I'll assist it
Yeah.
briefly. Just sort of take your hand, press.
Feels amazing.
Get the idea? Press,
Yeah.
and you put your hand back down, and you just take a nap. Just go to sleep. And then relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, your head's not rotated. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, much better. Yeah, you were in significant.
I feel like my shoulders are way lower, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like this.
you were in significant.
Yeah. That's I mean, I could kind of feel a little bit, but I didn't feel like I was, but you're saying that I am. It's, yeah. Right.
You did good, right? Very good.
I appreciate
Awesome.
it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You are the man. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so I played baseball in high school. I don't remember or recall there being an actual injury,
Okay.
but pitching, so
Mhm.
in the arm angle of like where I would throw, might have affected it.
Mhm.
And then recently, in the last 5 or 6 years, started working out. Before that, I was still active, but baseball players are notorious for not really working out. So
When you say shoulder pain, what are you feeling?
shoulder pain, so right in the back, it's super tight, and so whenever I twist my arm, so I go left or right,
Mhm.
I feel numbness in my fingers, so that's
Mhm.
why I put numbness on there,
Okay.
and a tingling feeling shooting all the way up to my shoulder.
Okay.
And then under here, I had a friend a couple of years ago named Junkyard,
Okay.
but he said that it was super tight here because it was super tight in my back, and then it was affecting my shoulder.
Mhm.
So pain-wise, it's I think coming from my back, and then shoulder-wise, it's just not as stable as my other arm.
Mhm. Is there pain when you lift up your arm from the side?
No, but there's a lot of cracking.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of cracking in this arm.
Mhm.
I have I can
Yeah.
do a whole bunch, but you can hear all that cracking. It sounds like fluid or something that's
All right.
in there.
We'll check it out, but no pictures have been taken of your neck, no MRIs or anything. The difficulty is that the entire arm health and hand, wrist, shoulder all comes from the neck. So when the nerves in the neck get irritated, so we're made up of little holes with wires going through them, and they're supported by discs. And as these discs get injured, I'm going to use this just because it's a little easier to see, but the hole is supported by that disc, and as the disc either can bulge out and hit the nerve, the hole changes in size if we bend forward, and so you can alleviate stress on the nerve based on positions, but pressure on this nerve is going to affect the health of the strength of the muscles. So sometimes you'll feel weakness or that sensation of tingling. It's suspicious. I mean, when you're saying you're straightening your arms.
Yeah, and so I have to like look away as well. So like if I look this way to the right and then I do it, like right now I can feel it all the way up.
It pull, right?
Yeah.
It can pull.
Exactly.
All right.
So like right, and I feel it really now when I'm doing this. I feel it. You're right. My neck.
Yeah.
Going down my neck, sort of down here, and then down my arm.
Right. The cables are held taut when there's no curve in your neck. So these cables are supposed to be loose. They should have some ability to move away from what's influencing them. When we lose the arch in our neck, these cables are held tight like a rope.
Okay.
You understand? And that rope goes all the way down, called your brachial plexus, down into your hand. And so if the rope is already held taut and then you tense it yourself, does that make sense?
Okay.
Now you're pulling on the cable, but there shouldn't be so much tension to begin with. I mean, certainly there can be tightness in your shoulder, and we'll check that out. There can be tight muscles that are making the nerves, as they travel down your arm, have to go through a little bit more of a windy path, which then makes them able to be, squeezed a little bit.
Now that I think more about it, I don't know there's that much shoulder pain. So you might be right.
Yeah, but the shoulder is going to be affected by the lower neck, and so I'm a chiropractor that plays the game of odds. At 30 years old, unless I fell off a roof or I threw a baseball and I felt it rip. Unless you have an injury where you can go, Ed, it's killing me right in here.
Okay.
Right, you're pointing to more of an area.
Yeah.
Right, so you're going, Ed, it's kind of here.
For sure.
Right, it's not like you're saying it's right there, and it's only when right there I feel it.
Gotcha.
Right, that's going to be an actual shoulder, maybe attachment injury, supraspinatus, rotator cuff tear, but areas are what we call dermatomes medically. So each nerve functions to a certain section of your body.
Okay.
And so it's going to be not able to be very specific. You're going to go, it's in this region here. Have you busted a clavicle before? No? Any injuries to your clavicle?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. My pain tolerance is high. I don't know.
Give me a second here. You're all built, the muscles are really built up over here. Really built up on your right side. Shoulders are not too unlevel, but I'm just saying I see a huge amount of build over here. So either this is built up or this is smaller. Does that make sense? I'm trying to figure out which one's.
No, you're right. I mean, this side for sure has a lot of complications.
Mm-hmm.
Chest. Now I don't think much shoulder now that we've talked, and then like on my back. But yeah, there's definitely something going on this side.
Okay. We'll check it. I'm saying it's almost like this is atrophying. This is bigger. Either this is normal and this has gotten weaker, or you're just super, exercising this side more than this side, but just your development on your right side is much bigger. I want to see that easy. So the head's about inch and a half forward from this shoulder. Head weight's about 10 pounds every inch. The muscles have to double their workload. So 10, 20, 40. So the muscular stress goes up exponentially the more your head goes forward. Mm-hmm. And again, that creates tension in here. That can affect the nerves as they're traveling down your arm.
For sure.
All right, bend both the knees. I'm just going to see how your back's moving, just kind of going through your back. I love Halo. With 2, hell my. Wow, oh geez.
Yeah.
All right, take a deep breath. Little sit up. Head back. Exhale. All right, keep breathing. Deep breath. Try to hold your breath. Deep breath in. Let it all go. Relax your chest. I got you. All right, deep breath in. One more. Head back. Relax your chest. Exhale. All right, a little tight up there. Okay. Let's go to your side. Turn your head towards me. There you go. Put that back in the head, like in that little slit there. There you go. Take a deep breath in. Try to twist. Exhale. Try to twist. There you go. Oh, that's okay. Other side for me. Mm-hmm. Exhale. All right, there you go. Face up.
One hip didn't function.
It moved early. It moved early. It moved almost before I pushed on it. Got a left atlas, feel the bone. This is the side of your top bone that sits underneath your skull. So the round donut. I got a real easy palpation of the left atlas. You know, it's there on the right, but it's much more sunken in. The top bone is over to the left. Now this happens normally when I tilt my head to the right. Okay, so if my head is straight with my torso, and I tilt my head to the right, the bones all shift to the left. I can't walk around with my head tilted, so I'm gonna drop a shoulder. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Now the bone is perpetually slid to the left, and people love to say the bones are not out of alignment. No, they move when we tilt our head around, and the holes change in size when we, like I tried to show you, if I bend forward, the hole gets bigger. It also gets bigger if I tilt. So when I tilt my head to the right, the holes on the left get larger, and so you can not pinch a nerve. You can not have numbness down the arm because you're going to mechanically open up the hole because there might be a joint injury or a disc injury that's going to hit that yellow wire, right? So your body's going to compensate way before we have symptoms. So the top bone's way off to the left. As I go down, now I got a huge amount on the right here. So it's like I got nothing here a little bit here on the left lower, but I got a huge amount of buildup here on the right. So it's like the top bone has gone off to the left and everybody else has gone off to the right. I have this like kind of scissor effect here. I'm really interested in seeing how I can, how well it moves. Real gentle here. I got you, bud. Easy, I got you. Relax your head. It's all right. Here we go. Yeah.
My. Interesting.
Yeah. All right, real easy. I got you. Relax right here. Okay.
Interesting. Wow.
The neck is the boss of the shoulder. You know, the shoulder is the employee.
Yeah.
You know, this is the employer. You know, and maybe not in this day and age. I guess the employees do tell the employers what to do now. But it's supposed to be the employer tells the employee what to do.
Yeah.
Not anymore, Ed.
Well, I was thinking that your wife is a great position because she can reap the benefits of
That's right.
you having all this knowledge and
Yeah.
then also
Yes.
having good sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be the neck controls the extremities. The extremities, you know, ultimately don't have control over the spinal column. The spinal column is the boss. The health of your shoulder, the health of the muscles, the health of the ligaments, the joints are all under the tutelage of the nerve. And if the nerve is not healthy, then yes, everything's going to be. Oh, I'm just seeing the difference. Wow, so much power over here on this right shoulder. Jeez. I'm going to see that left. I can compare that to this side. Yeah, you got like no muscle there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
can see it through your shirt, and I was like, "Why is his right trap so massive?" I only work out the right arm.
I swear to
in the
God,
gym.
it's not that.
No,
I
I'm
swear, yeah.
joking. I know nobody does that. My point is that it's there's nerve pressure.
I can feel that
Okay.
there's compensation elsewhere on this side of my body.
Correct.
And
When you have numbness, if you have the numbness is essentially the nerve not functioning, right?
Yep.
And so your muscle strength is tied to that. And so, you know, Ed, my hand goes numb or not, but my right, but we do that same maneuver with your right shoulder. It doesn't make your right arm feel that way.
Mhm, it
Correct.
does not,
So
yeah.
we have an asymmetry wherein we have, you know, the ability to cause numbness in one hand but not the other. Why is that happening? Well, there's something going on in his neck. We want our spine to age evenly. Right? What's happening frequently in America is people are aging their spines unevenly. And so what we can do is we can restore the ability for spine to age evenly. We can't not age. We're going to age our spine, but people get to 50 and part of their spine looks like 100 and then they get surgery, right?
Yeah.
Well, Ed, it's bone on bone. Okay, you've ground this area down to a nub because that area was doing quadruple what it was meant to handle. Call it nerve root tethering. Spinal cord, the cord is actually held tight, and the nerve roots that come off the cord are held tight when there's no curve in the neck. And so the ability to think of it like a rope going through a hole, right? You have a nerve going through the hole. Now, if the nerve has the flexibility, it can move with the movement of that hole. Does that make sense? And the nerve won't get pinched. But if that nerve is held tight like a rope, then you whack the nerve easily.
Gotcha.
It doesn't have any ability to Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope, roll with the punches.
Yeah,
right?
for
It's
sure.
It's just going to stand there like a brick and just get smacked in the face and have no ability to, angle itself. And that's what happens with these nerves when you have no curve in the spine. It makes it so I didn't do anything, Ed. All I did was turn my neck and bam, I'm feeling something. That's the position everything's in, and it's a lack of ability to
wanted, and I don't help the situation because I would like to think that I stretch, but I mean, I might, when I remember once every other week, take 15 minutes, but then I'll still, try to bench press 3 plates. And,
Gotcha.
I'm doing way more harm than
If
good.
anybody tells you that your core is weak, you need to laugh at them and walk out the door, okay? You are not a core is weak person, okay? You have a lack of flexibility in your core. You've lost your balance of your core. Do you understand? But we live in a world where a lot of chiropractors and therapists are teaching this narrative that your back hurts, or your things are happening because your core is weak, and I just go, really? This guy? I don't think so. His core is not flexible enough. It's not working as a team evenly.
And my partner, she's 5 foot and she weighs maybe 110 pounds.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, can you try? So she's like, absolutely not. She's like, I can't do anything for you. She's like,
She tried to WWE your back or something, and she's
well,
like,
then I don't even feel it. She
Right.
put as much pressure as she wanted to.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, his left, just to me, it's just more built up on this right side.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I tried to focus on doing, dumbbells instead of barbells to isolate, the area, and it's still, not improving. You can even see my front delt. There's like nothing there from my shoulder, and then on this side, I can, I have.
You have an anterior delt. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a weakness going on here. I'm gonna clean it anyway. I'm gonna go in here and clean it, but I. Just like.
This is like a normal arm.
Right. That's what your left arm is.
Yeah.
Right. No, this is massive, much more mass over here.
And however we can fix this, a session a week or whatever I need to drive to
We'll
do,
talk about it. Yeah. It's going to be about getting the pressure. I think you have a disc bulge in your neck. I think that would be the thing we'd find
Okay.
on MRI. I can't tell you how many people have had x-rays and be told that they're fine, especially at 30 years old, and then we get an MRI and we see the extent of the injury.
Okay.
And so it's a depressing thing. Really up to maybe 45, 50, you can't, there's not going to be a lot of bone spurring yet. You understand? There's not going to be a lot of the things that you can see on x-ray
Okay.
that give you evidence, or disc height loss, right? It's just not, you can have a swollen disc. Before the disc actually ruptures out, the disc will actually swell up before it actually ruptures. So the disc spaces look really good
Okay.
on x-ray. And so people can even be more deceived that
Wow.
they're fine if you just look at disc height. So I go, no, go get an MRI, and then on the MRI you see that it's a swollen disc. It's actually about to rupture a disc on MRI, while the x-ray hides that fact. Yeah, we got a huge amount of, just from real light combing, it's already pouring out of here.
Okay.
It interferes with, like I said, this path down your arm.
So even when I do roll my back out, my upper back, there's whenever I'm done, my back is like black and blue. So
Right.
from rolling it, and I only do that for 5 minutes,
Well, we need to go to a place where that even doesn't happen.
Okay.
It's like you're vacuuming and you're just seeing all the dirt that's in the carpet, and you're like, what the heck is all this? It's like, yeah, we need to run the carpet cleaner for a few weeks, get it cleaner so that you can, and learn how to take your shoes off the front door so you stop bringing all this mud in.
For sure.
There's postural things that allow this to rebuild back up quickly.
And so also wherever you just were, there's a burning sensation. So I don't know what that would be.
Right
but
here?
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
like burns.
Yeah, these are attachments from your neck. This has to do with your head being forward. These are the roots of your neck in here.
Okay.
These are the joints in here that get inflamed.
Those roots
from-
are in there.
Yeah. Right side. Oh man.
So when I saw your video, I was like, this is
Poor guy.
probably going to be something that you guys can help me with.
Yeah. There's a lot of buildup. That is that right knot I was talking about, the scissor effect. This is the right. Right there's that right blowout.
Yeah, these are the roots of your neck right here. That's why they're burning. And the mobility of the vertebrae actually cleans out the area. So part of why the burning is not self-flushing is because of the immobility. This area is all tight mechanically. So as we get it adjusted and as I can teach you how to stretch, the tissue should be cleaning itself out. It makes sense. You shouldn't even need massages or adjustments. It really should be
Gotcha.
on autonomy. It's
Yeah.
not moving, and therefore it needs some care to get it unlocked, get it unfrozen so that it can, clean itself out.
Yeah, and I bought one of those, I think they're called Theraguns.
Right.
I don't know, maybe I was too far, the Theragun was like, you're too far gone.
Oh.
And I also hold, both of my sons are pretty young, so I'll just, pocket them sort of in between my my elbow and leaning, and then so I'll lean backwards while I'm holding, and I'll do that for, sometimes if you go to Disney, you're doing it for a couple hours.
Oh yeah, been there. I've had my shoulders go numb. The kids on.
So yeah, this right side just feels normal. It's like, okay, you're just, nothing.
Yeah.
I just felt something move, so I know that's not, frozen.
There you go. Yeah. Just need some WD-40. Yep. Just need some penetrating oil to get in here and loosen the threads. Somebody put some Loctite on these bolts in here.
I think one of the things we can maybe look at next time is when I go up the stairs, because I run a good bit. Even though I'm about 230, I probably shouldn't be running, but I run 6 to 8 miles, 2 or 3 times a week. And whenever I go up the stairs, it feels like there's keys in my pocket because my knees are cracking so much.
Well, we're checking out today.
Okay, that's definitely a concern.
Left knee, both knees?
But I think both, but there's no pain. It's just that it makes a whole lot of noise.
Okay. We'll show you some stuff.
Okay, sweet.
Meniscus is it has the ability to heal, but it doesn't heal well in certain sections because the area is such a poorly circulated area. And so you have to actively participate sometimes to get that lubrication into the knee. And then if it dries up, you start hearing crunching and those sounds to me happen because it's not.
Like I said, there's very little, because I don't think there's any pain involved. It's just that the noises.
I understand.
My son was like, huh?
Yeah, but the meniscus has no feeling. What has feeling is where the bone, essentially, the bone underneath the tibia, the bone underneath the cartilage and the femur. And so when you wear out the cartilage, when the bone starts to get hit, that's when we have knee pain.
Oh, okay.
So it's, again, healthcare-wise, the symptom you're describing is one that, hey, maybe something's, it's aging faster. It's gonna, get injured because it's not getting the oil, like an engine that's not getting oil circulating. It's gonna cause something to get scorched or damaged.
Yeah. That's another thing too. My partner, she can move her hand behind her back and touch basically her, the top of her neck. Me, I could barely get it to where it's at now.
I understand. No, it needs work. There we go, easy. Well, we don't use it, we lose it. It's like your range of motion is a commodity. It's a currency that we can, if we don't explore certain areas, you lose them.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to just use our spines where we're used to using them, and we don't ever take our hip or our shoulder through a full range of motion kind of idea, and so things get stiff because we don't do it. That's what I'm trying to say. You need suppleness and flexibility, not strength. You have plenty of power and strength. It's not a core power problem. It's a flexibility, range of motion problem.
There's mobility.
The mobility is what pumps the lubrication into the joints. That's how they clean themselves, is through that range of motion and mobility. And the nerves being healthy. Far from moving, yes. I know.
And so when it does get purple, what does that like mean? Not from just seeing as a shock value, but
Yeah.
what is that?
I think I call it, it's called the Sha, which the Chinese called it ghost or sand. It's basically, to me, inflammation that's been trapped. It's not normal. All you should be able to get out is a redness or even just a pink flushing of the tissue. Anytime you get that dark mark that takes a few days for it to go away, it's internally something's been blockaged.
Okay.
Or been blocked off and trapped. And then that irritates the nerves that are in the area, causes pain, right? You don't want to move because it hurts, and so your range of motion goes down.
No doubt.
I can't make it appear. It's
No,
kind of like a pool. Like if you get in a pool and all the sediment has fallen to the bottom and you shuffle your feet and you stir it up and now the pool's cloudy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, you made my pool dirty. Well, no, I stirred up what was on the bottom. Right? You didn't notice it. The pool was clear because it had all the silt had fallen to the bottom, or like a
Bottom
lake.
settled.
It had settled at the bottom, right? That's kind of what we do in here is I get in and I stir my feet on the bottom of the pool. So when your muscles contract, so some of these are postural contractions. So when the muscles contract for long periods of time, they build up lactic acid. Lactic acid is the exhaust from breaking down pyruvate sugars. At the end of glycolysis and Krebs cycle, the waste product is lactic acid. So oxygen is actually supposed to bind to it and convert it to carbon dioxide and water.
Okay.
Now, when an area is so stiff or tight that oxygen has trouble getting in there, at least at the rate to get rid of the lactic acid at a fast enough rate based on how much you're building up. And so by bringing the oxygen in, we speed up that process of getting the lactic acid. And then surprise, surprise, lactic acid and nerves don't exactly like each other. Nerves don't like sitting in acid.
Yeah.
And so that's why you said earlier, what was the word you said? It burns.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It's burning because there's an acidity trapped around the nerve. Now, the body's constantly processing it, but that doesn't mean it's not continually building back up again, right? That makes sense. Because of your alignment, the posture is such where the lactic acid is being made faster than your body can process it, and that increases the acidity around the nerve,
Gotcha.
thereby causing pain.
I guess one of the positives that from knowing that my back and my neck is a little bit discombobulated, my lower back I don't feel any pain or anything of that nature. So I always looked at that and justified any other movement, because I'm like, oh, my lower back's fine, so.
The tolerances are higher down here than here.
Okay.
So the spinal cord, as you go down your back, the spinal cord actually gets smaller because the cars are getting off the highway,
Uh-huh.
right? So the spinal cord is really large up here, and as you go down to your lower back, it's still not, it's not really small, but it's not as large as it was up here. You
Yeah.
understand? And the bony canal is the biggest down here. Relative to the neck, the bones are smaller. So you have a large canal down here with a small spinal cord, while in the neck you have a smaller spinal cord canal with a much larger spinal cord.
Gotcha.
So you get the cliff notes is it doesn't take much to hit something in here.
Okay.
While the lower back, you can
It
have
takes a
you can
lot.
have injuries, right? We go to a lumbar MRI and go, well, Dr. Ed, there's injuries. I don't feel them at all. I understand. There's tolerance. There's high tolerance to. There's more room. There's more give. There's more
Gotcha.
ability for things to move away from the things that are irritating them. So when somebody usually comes in with a lower back problem, instinctively you can kind of know that it's been there a while.
Yeah.
To understand, to have grown to that size. While the neck, you can have very subtle, small shifts and misalignments that cause big problems, and sometimes even the ability to see them on MRI is difficult because you're dealing with a small injury relative to the lower back. A larger injury is now present.
Yeah.
So
Well, I like the approach that you're not just, out here fishing, but you have one solid,
Yeah.
determination, which is the neck, and then you can branch off from there and,
Right.
identify issues easier than, because when I came in, I just said my shoulder, you're like, wait.
yeah, it's,
You're
the
like, your
neck-
shoulder's not the problem.
The neck, well, yeah, the shoulder is the effect. So we have always causes and effects. So the spinal column tells a story of what it controls. you're in avoidance. So when your head is an inch and a half forward, it generally happens because you're getting away from something, right? It's like, well, it doesn't hurt. Well, you're in avoidance.
Yeah.
If you broke your right ankle and you had all your weight on your left ankle, you might not say your right ankle hurts, but you're avoiding it. All this inflammation back here also makes it hard for you to put your arm behind your back, right? The more forward your shoulders go, when you try to bring your shoulder back, you're having to compress all of this.
Gotcha.
Right? So as we get your posture of your upper back better and these bones start to go in, your range of motion is going to improve. Part of it is that you're trying to bridge these huge gaps by arching back.
Yeah.
The gap should have never been allowed to have grown to this size. The distance has increased much larger than it's supposed to have been. And our
Yeah.
world doesn't guide us in posture. It's how do you feel? Right? So it's all on feeling, but half your spine has no feeling, so you can be lost.
Well, I think the best indicators, I used to be able to do 15, 20 pull-ups, in good form. And now, I mean, I'm not too different. I mean, I weigh more, of course, but my strength hasn't really changed all that much. But I can do 2 or 3, now, which is...
It's weakness. It's weakness.
Exactly.
You're losing power. Because not for a lack of trying, but for the nerves aren't able to relay those signals properly. There you go. Take a deep breath in for a bit. Try to relax your chest best you can. Exhale, relax. Yeah, okay, got it. Way too tight.
Oh wow! Oh my god, that's like unsettling. Okay.
Yeah, we got a lot in there.
It's almost hard to let. It's not hard to move, but it's like my body. I think is trying to accept everything. Okay, interesting. Yeah. That. Oh god. Okay. Huh.
Interference.
Yeah, interference.
How do you feel? Easy? Pain? Tightness?
Tight. No
The
pain.
quad? What do you feel? The knee feel?
More, I think of the hamstring.
Okay.
To be honest,
Okay.
and then yeah, maybe the hamstring.
All right, put the other leg on there. Try the other one. And then, yep, sit. What do you think?
Really on this like groin area.
Okay. All right. That's where it's tight in there.
Yeah, and that's super uncomfortable.
All right, we have it face down again. Yeah, that's essentially the exercise to help lubricate the knee is what I just showed you.
Okay.
The first step is to actually just set it 10 times. You kind of come up and down, and you pump the knee, and that lubricates the knee, right? And so any tightness is going to prevent you from being able to go deeply, right? There's another phase to it where you actually have your toes pointed. So
Okay.
We had the foot off the edge of the table. The next step would be to actually put the toes pointed, and you try to get your butt to your heel with the toes pointed, and then we kind of go through phases of it and see how
Okay.
well you can. And then sometimes we can do some stuff to actually help push some blood into the knee, which we'll also check out in a second.
Yeah, because one of the things that I know isn't, I don't think the best for longevity is running, but it's one of the things I actually love the most.
I got you. Yeah, I would encourage it towards elliptical if possible.
Yeah.
It's a less expensive hobby, but if we can run barefoot on the beach, it's better than, the problem is it's always concrete and shoes.
For sure.
And that's a tough one because concrete is unnaturally hard. The shoe changes the kind of the ergonomics of your foot. They've taken motion x-rays of people when they're walking with barefoot,
Uh-huh.
and our foot looks like a bird's wing. It looks like
Huh.
a flapping bird's wing, like it's very fluidic. We kind of look at our foot like a paddle sometimes, but it's very dynamic in its motion when we're walking.
Yeah.
When you put a shoe on, it makes it like a
Like
one
scrunched
of those
up.
Red Lobster claws with the rubber bands on it. And you're saying like it now it's like a penguin paddle,
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
right? And so the shoe, well, for protective reasons, right? Because there's nails and glass, and so we have to. I don't want to stub my toe, but you're, especially if the shoe, if the shoe box is being squeezed, you understand?
Yeah.
You're changing the ability of the bones to move around in your foot when you're running. They make toe shoes. They make more, shoes that don't squeeze your foot so much. But at the end of the day, we should be barefoot. I got you.
Whoa, that's probably what just happened right there. Is probably the most not painful but tense spot.
So if you run with this muscle tight, all right, so talking about knee health, the medial meniscus encounters something like 99% of knee injuries.
Okay.
The lateral meniscus hardly ever gets injured. They try to say it's wear and tear and aging. Well, how old's the lateral meniscus? The same age as your medial meniscus, right? So it's the alignment, right? So the more we foot flare, the more we're going to tighten up the inside of vastus medialis, the more we're going to grind the inside of the knee. So as guys, we typically have about, I think textbook says about 10 degrees is normal, but we still should be striving to keep our toes forward.
Yeah.
And when you're running, checking that. Now sometimes what the muscle that foot flares is piriformis, so tight, that's why I rubbed your glute, because if this muscle here gets tight, that's the muscle that externally
Gotcha.
rotates your hip. This muscle's tight because your lower back might be upset. And so the lower back is upset because the middle back's tight because your head's forward. So it all comes from the head ultimately, but this muscle here being tight keeps the knee in a vice grip.
Okay.
Then when you're running, this is constantly being, it's like these two pieces of material smashed together and then you're grinding it. That makes
For
sense?
sure.
So you want to check, you can't have any tenderness in this muscle. Yeah,
Yeah.
way too much
It's all
tenderness.
got- yeah, you can
This
do
is just,
whatever you want.
this is thumb pressure, okay?
Really?
This is,
Okay.
you got to work
Sorry.
on that.
Good.
Let's just check. Let's compare both sides here.
Okay, so rub that out.
I'm just saying you can't have tenderness in your quad.
Okay.
If this quad is tender and you go run, it's not going to surprise me that you're going to hear some grinding because these muscles all obviously attach here,
Okay.
right? So your quad, the patella is a sesamoid bone inside the patellar tendon, attaches on the tibial tuberosity, right? So this is the attachment here. So the tighter this muscle gets, do you see how it pulls and squeezes this,
Yeah.
right? So the meniscus is in a vice grip, the tighter your quad is. Now the quad stretch is what I showed you earlier, right? You can work on that, but you've got to, right next to Scooby-Doo, right on the front, right on the front bumper of Scooby-Doo,
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
The medial meniscus suffers because of that.
Okay.
I know. Okay.
No, you're all good. Yeah. I'm in my foot.
It's coming out right there. There's a mark right there coming out. Where's the location of the rumble base? Oh, no, I never taught.
I will never.
Oh, right there.
I will never tell a word.
But yeah, right there is where the problem is actually. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
How tender is this?
I don't feel it. I don't think. Maybe should I feel it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope. All right. Well, it needs to need some hydration.
Okay.
It just needs to be hydrated. It means most likely the meniscus is not too torn up or injured. It just means, but the meniscus can desiccate or dry up. It doesn't mean it's injured. You understand? It's like a sponge. It's just dried up because we
Yeah.
don't really. How often before I just showed you that knee stretch do you ever?
I've never.
Right. So come down inside of the heel. So I want you to practice. There you go.
Okay.
So you're going to come up and you're coming down inside of the heel. How's that?
Do you hear that? My knee.
That's that guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs lubrication. Let's try. Let's switch knees. So turn around. There you go, that's fine. That's fine. Come a little bit more forward. Yeah, toes.
Toes down.
And then come inside of that heel. Yeah, there you got to go deeper in that. Is that it? No, closer to the knee. Closer to the heel. There you go. Close to the heel. Yeah, it's just dried out. But it does need a pumping action. So you can kind of come up and then come down.
Okay.
You want to pump it a little bit, but it doesn't mean you can't sit and hold it and just let it stretch, because now you're doing the quad stretch. But you do need a little bit of pumping and a little bit of stretching. In yoga, they would come down inside, and then you would try to lay back. Make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be careful. But
Yeah.
that's
Gotta practice that. Yeah.
they would go deeper. You go.
Oh, okay,
You go
okay.
back on your elbows.
Interesting. Oh yeah, wow. I feel that all in my legs and everything else. Oh my god, yeah.
Okay.
You're doing it though.
Looks good. Yeah. That's what you want to work on.
How do you get up?
All right, go ahead and tilt your head left for me. Tilt left.
Just popped.
Yeah.
Holy cannoli.
Tilt your head left for me.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's weird. It's like it's connected, right?
Tilt your right.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Then go ahead and tilt your right. Okay, so. All right, come over here.
Sweet.
Ultimately, it takes about 20 minutes to change your posture. It's not to say 5 minutes isn't beneficial, but to see a lasting change, we have to sit here and hold this for about 20 minutes. The ligaments that wrap your spine, their fatigue point is about 20 minutes, meaning if you hold them stretched and let them go, they have the same tensile strength. But if you sit there and hold them for 20 minutes and then let it go, now all of a sudden it's much more flexible.
For sure.
So ultimately, anytime you're in any position, whether it be forward or back for more than 20 minutes, you're incrementally changing your posture. Meaning if you sit and drive for 10 hours round and forward, and then you go to stand upright, you don't reset to as much upright as you were before you sat for 10 hours. You maintain some of that forward stretch because the ligaments on the front never got stretched. The ones on the back got all stretched out, and so now our posture's changing. That's how bones go out of alignment, is because of sitting, being rounded forward, or injury. So if I injure right side of my back, I'll tilt this way. You understand? So now I'm stretching these ligaments are contracting. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
And so now we're out of alignment. All right, let me have you just do a little sit up for me. We'll try this guy. There we go. Lay back for me. I got you, bud. I got you. There we go. We'll try this guy. Head back for me. There, head back. There you go. Easy. There you go. Knees bent. There you go. Try to bring the arms up for me. Let's try. Keep the arms together. Sometimes you use this right arm to help the left arm. Yep.
And you want it relaxed, like my arms
Eventually
relaxed?
your hands on the floor. This is the range of motion.
Hands on the floor.
Yes, sir. This is the range of motion problem you mentioned earlier, how you can't get your arms. We got to stretch.
Okay.
We need to,
Is it far away from the floor right now?
yeah.
Okay.
Your body wants to be, and we have to fight the battle the rest of your life to not, become the old man rounded forward. And so to do that, we have to counter stretch you. But if there's all that crud in your back, no thank you.
Yeah.
No thanks, that hurts too
No
much.
way.
And it'll just keep building up more and more to a place by 60, you're like, never mind. I'm not even gonna try to arch back anymore. So we need to incrementally start every day, neck, back,
For sure.
pick what you can do.
Yeah.
For pleasure, my friend. There you go, there you go. There you go.
Appreciate it. Thank you
Great.
guys.